Today, we're diving into an essential aspect of identity and access management and control mechanisms. As we know, in our increasingly digital world, safeguarding sensitive information and ensuring that the right individuals have appropriate access to resources is more critical than ever. This section will guide us through the core principles of access management, the various models and technologies available, and best practices for implementing robust access controls. 1. Access control models. Let's begin with the access control models. Access control models define how permissions are granted and managed. The most common models include role-based access control, RBAC. Access is granted based on a user's role within the organization. This simplifies management by grouping users with similar access needs. Attribute-based access control, ABAC. Access decisions are based on attributes of users, resources, and environmental conditions. This model provides flexibility and fine-grained control. Mandatory access control, MAC. Access is regulated by a central authority based on predefined policies. It's commonly used in government and military environments. Discretionary access control, DAC. Resource owners have the discretion to grant access to others, which can lead to less control over data security. Each model has its strengths and weaknesses, and the choice of model should align with an organization's specific security requirements and operational needs. 2. Authentication methods. Next, let's discuss authentication methods. Authentication is the process of verifying a user's identity before granting access to resources. Common methods include passwords, the most widely used method, but they can be weak if not managed correctly. Multi-factor authentication, MFA. This adds an extra layer of security by requiring 2 or more verification methods, significantly reducing the risk of unauthorized access. Biometrics. Using physical characteristics such as fingerprints or facial recognition provides a high level of security. When implementing authentication methods, it's crucial to follow best practices, such as enforcing strong password policies and regularly updating authentication mechanisms to adapt to evolving threats. 3. Authorization processes. Moving on to authorization processes, which determine what resources a user can access and what actions they can perform. The authorization workflow typically involves defining policies. These are the rules that dictate who can access what based on their identity and role. Evaluating requests. When a user attempts to access a resource, the system checks their permissions against the defined policies. Authorization is essential for ensuring that users have the least privilege necessary to perform their job functions, reducing the potential attack surface. 4. Access control technologies. Now, let's explore access control technologies. Various tools and technologies help manage access effectively. Identity providers, IDPs. These systems manage user identities and facilitate authentication and authorization processes. Single sign-on, SSO. This allows users to log in once and gain access to multiple applications without re-entering credentials, enhancing user experience while maintaining security. Access management solutions. Tools like Okta and Microsoft Azure AD provide comprehensive access management features, including user provisioning, access policies, and reporting. Integrating these technologies into your existing systems can streamline access management and improve overall security. 5. Privileged access management, PAM. Another crucial aspect is privileged access management, PAM. PAM focuses on managing and monitoring accounts with elevated privileges, which are often targeted by attackers. Key strategies for PAM include limiting privileged accounts. Restrict access to sensitive systems and data to only those who truly need it. Monitoring privileged activities. Regularly track and audit the actions taken by privileged accounts to identify suspicious behavior. By effectively managing privileged access, organizations can mitigate risks associated with potential insider threats and external attacks. 6. Access review and auditing. Next, let's highlight the importance of access review and auditing. Regularly reviewing access rights is critical for maintaining security and compliance. This involves conducting periodic access reviews. Verify that users still require their access levels and that permissions align with their current roles. Implementing audit trails. Keeping detailed logs of access attempts and changes can help in identifying anomalies and ensuring compliance with regulatory standards. Access reviews and audits help organizations identify and rectify any misconfigurations or unauthorized access. 7. Best practices for access management. Now, let's discuss some best practices for access management. Implementing effective access management policies involves establishing clear access control policies, define roles, responsibilities, and access levels explicitly to ensure consistency across the organization. Adopting a zero-trust approach. Assume that threats could exist both inside and outside the organization, and continuously verify user identities and access requests. Continuous improvement. Regularly assess and update access management practices based on emerging threats and evolving organizational needs. 8. Case studies and real-world applications. To bring this all together, we'll examine some case studies and real-world applications. For instance, Company A successfully implemented an automated access management solution, reducing onboarding times by 50% while enhancing security through consistent policy enforcement. Conversely, Company B faced a significant data breach due to inadequate management of privileged accounts, highlighting the critical need for effective PAM strategies. These examples illustrate both the potential benefits of robust access management and the consequences of neglecting these essential practices. Conclusion. In conclusion, effective access management is vital for protecting sensitive information and ensuring that the right individuals have appropriate access to organizational resources. By understanding access control models, implementing secure authentication and authorization processes, leveraging access management technologies, and adhering to best practices, organizations can strengthen their security posture and minimize risks. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to any questions or discussions on this important topic. We shall meet in the